CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
If you need blood work or any other medical tests done, you may have to wait. LifeLab employees have launched rotating strike action. The job action launched today. It involves 700 workers at 40 locations across the province. Today and again tomorrow, the workers are members of the BC Government Employees Union. Their mediated talks broke off on the weekend. The BC GEU says the main issues are wages and LifeLab's demand for contract concessions. A list of labs and hours they will be closed can be found on the union website. Well, BC's top two political parties, the Liberals and NDP, are both seeing gains in a recent poll. The Liberals have more than 30% support for the first time in more than a year. The Angus Reid poll shows the BC NDP now has a 15-point lead over the governing Liberals, with 46% of committed support. The Liberals are up 2 points at 31%. The Greens up a single point to 10%. And the BC Conservatives have dropped by 2 points. As for personal approval ratings, Adrian Dix has 46%. To Christy Clark's 31%. The Green Party leader Jane Sturck sits at 23% personal approval. And Conservative leader John Cummins is sitting at 13%.
The main issue is the BC Conservatives used to be at 23% in March. Now they're at 10%. So they went from fighting for second place with the Liberals to fighting for third place with the Greens. So really difficult to see what is going to happen with this party now that so many voters were window shopping and looking at them as an option and have now basically abandoned them only a few weeks before the election happens.
As for who would be the best premier, the poll says Adrian Dix still leads Christy Clark 29% to 19%. The online poll of 802 BC voters was done January 17th and 18th with a margin of error of plus or minus 3.5%. In the Southern Interior, two political candidates have dropped out even before the spring election campaign begins. Independent MLA John Slater, who was drummed out of the Liberal Party, announced today that he will not run again. Within an hour, his NDP opponent in the riding of Boundary-Similkameen also quit, also citing personal reasons. We have new pictures to show you tonight of Prince Harry serving in Afghanistan. He has just returned home after spending 20 weeks operating a weapons system on board an Apache helicopter. The 28-year-old prince was stationed at a British base in the southern Afghan desert. He flew as a co-pilot gunner, firing rockets and missiles at Taliban fighters. The prince is known as Captain Wales in the British military and says his royal status plays no role in his missions.
We're a platoon commander, we're a company commander in an aircraft, and there's decisions that we have to make, snap decisions that doesn't always have to be granted the green light by the CO or anyone down here. So you don't get a free pass no matter who you are. And you know, if the army didn't think that they could get me out here, then they wouldn't have put me in here, because it costs a hell of a lot, as you can imagine, to train people up, and my seat would have been taken by somebody else. Simple as that.
Prince Harry first toured Afghanistan in 2007, but that deployment was cut short after his location was leaked. For this visit, media agreed to a news blackout for security reasons, and this video was not released until Harry's deployment was over. Heavy snow and ice are causing major disruptions at many of Western Europe's busiest travel hubs. Heathrow Airport in London has cancelled at least 130 flights again today. Flights have also been grounded in Paris, Frankfurt, and Munich. British train service has been disrupted as well, and hundreds of schools across the UK have been closed because of the severe winter weather. The federal government is appealing a BC Supreme Court decision that struck down part of Canada's human smuggling law. The ruling came after arguments from lawyers representing crew members on board the MV Sunsea and MV Ocean Lady. They are accused of human smuggling. Their lawyers argue that parts of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act are simply too broad and could result in the prosecution of humanitarian workers. The Supreme Court judge agreed in the BC case and said the federal government could fix the law with some new wording. BC's transit police are facing some harsh criticism after forgetting an inert explosive device on an Air Canada passenger jet. It happened in January 2011, but only came to light recently when the Canadian Taxpayers Federation unearthed internal memos about it. Police say the device could not have exploded without the help of a blasting cap, which was not attached. The Air Canada Boeing 767 was at the Vancouver airport when it was used as part of a sniffer dog exercise. But by the time police noticed that the device was missing, the plane was back in the air and back in service. Well, our earlier brush with winter in December and earlier this month caused big problems on the new Mann Bridge on the Lower Mainland, but now engineers believe they've come up with a plan that will address the safety issues. In December, 2 people were injured, hundreds of cars damaged after ice bombs came falling off the bridge cables, plunging through windshields. And then earlier this month, the bridge had to be closed when nearly 40 cars were damaged because the Port Mann had not been properly de-iced.
In terms of context, we have subsequently become aware that throughout the Lower Mainland that day, ICBC's claims were up about 20% for that type of incident, with about 2,500 of those around the area. So it wasn't just the Port Mann Bridge experiencing that.
Special sweepers have been designed to move up and down the bridge cables to prevent snow and ice from building up. Water repellent and de-icing will be applied to the cables and the bridge deck as well to prevent snow and ice, and other measures are being tested. A Port Alberni First Nation wants to block a proposed investment treaty between Canada and China. The Hoopa-Chesed First Nation is asking a federal court to stop the Foreign Investment Promotion and Protection Act. The band says it would gut Aboriginal rights to resources and would allow Chinese companies to ultimately control the resources they may invest in, stripping negotiation powers from First Nations involved in the treaty process. Meantime, the Halalt First Nation is asking the Supreme Court of Canada to settle a long-running dispute with the District of North Cowichan. The First Nation has filed a leave to appeal with the Supreme Court following a BC Court of Appeal ruling in November. That ruling allowed the district to pump water from the Chemainus River's aquifer wells. The $6 million drinking water project was built adjacent to the Halalt Reserve on the river. A BC Supreme Court judge originally ruled that the province had failed to consult the First Nation and suspended the district's right to use that water. The November ruling overturned that decision. Charges against a BC salmon farm have been dropped, and the company has reached an agreement with the Department of Fisheries. In 2010, nearly 70 sea lions and seals died after drowning in nets at a Gregg seafood farm in Gold River. Part of the deal involves the company investing $100,000 back into the community, and some of that money is going to go to the Nootka Sound Watershed Society. It has also installed anti-predator nets around its fish pens to prevent future deaths, and says it's sharing its experience with other farms so they can prevent similar incidents. And education students from Vancouver Island University got a taste today of elementary school and teaching there. And someone who got a taste of learning firsthand was our Mid-Island cameraman, Andy Garland.
It's crunchy.
The exhibit today teaches children the importance of bugs, and Andy just couldn't resist sampling the nacho-flavored mealworm. The Learning Center's Day is a project for students in their 5th and final year of VIU's education program. They create their own lessons and exhibits on a number of topics, targeting students from kindergarten to grade 7.
It's all their own ideas. I say provide some interesting, engaging activities for students, and you get to choose whatever it is, whatever topic or theme. They design it, they create it, they implement it, and they work, as you can see, greatly with the kids over here.
The lessons include science, the environment, physical activities, and fine arts. It's the 21st year of the event, which took place at Fairview and Georgia Avenue Elementary Schools. About 1,600 student teachers, that is, and more than 15,000 elementary students have taken part over the years.